Hello, everyone. This is LaToya of Infinite Nature, and I am back with another video. And it has definitely been a while. I haven't made a video. I don't even remember, but I know that I still haven't put up my New Orleans stuff. Part of the reason why I haven't done that is because I can't find some of it. I'm like, yo, like, where is it? So that's part of the reason why I haven't put up all of my New Orleans stuff. But there's still some things that I can definitely upload, and I'm going to do that. But so much has been happening with me, and that's why I wanted to get on, because I'm having a baby. Me and my husband, we are currently pregnant, and I will be due, based upon my cycle, I'm due on October 4th of this year, which is also my mother-in-law's birthday. And I would be in my 37th week, which is the week from 37th week on. That's when there's a chance for me to go into labor, and at a healthy time period. And that's from my husband's birthday, September 13th, and then my mother-in-law's birthday is on October 4th. So I'm hoping that our baby comes closer to October, because I would like to have a baby at full term, healthy. That's what I desire, to get to the full term. And it's very interesting because we both had made some vision boards for New Year's with my family, and on it, both of us, me and my husband, when I say we, me and my husband, we put babies on there, and I put pregnancy and babies, and that was January 1st. Literally, by the end of the month, I found out that I was pregnant. Like, it was January 28th, because my cycle came late. So January 28th, I found out that I was pregnant. So things happened so fast. It was not that difficult for us to conceive, and I give thanks for that, because I know that some people really, really desire to have a baby, and they have difficulty or may not be able to. So I'm very grateful that we've had this opportunity, and that it came so effortlessly, and I won't say that we exactly said, okay, we're going to have sex on this day, but I will say that we both, as I said, we put on our vision boards that we both desire to have a child, and it just happened, I feel like, in the way that it's meant to happen. So I am so grateful about that. I am currently 13 weeks. At the time of this video, it is March 31st. It's the day before what is considered Easter. So I'm in my 13th week, and next week will be my 14th week. We're going into my 14th week. So I am going to be. I've noticed that different websites and different books and stuff consider the beginning of your second trimester at 12 weeks. Some people consider it once you hit the 14th week. So I'm pretty much, I feel like, in my second trimester. I will say overall that I've had a pretty decent first trimester. You know what I'm saying? When I found out that I was pregnant, I was around 4 weeks. It was literally after when my period wasn't here anymore, when my cycle didn't come. So I found out in my 4th week, going into my 5th week. I was going into my 5th week. And that's when, after I came back from traveling from out of town that weekend, that week I found, like, Sunday the 28th, I believe I found out. Or was it the 24th? Oh boy, I don't think I remember now. Hold up. All I know is at the end of the month, I believe it was the 28th. Yeah, I believe it was the 28th. It was a Sunday the 28th, I think I found out. Yeah. And then that weekend, I ended up going out of town, and I was pregnant, going out traveling on a plane and everything. I was sleepy. Like, that's when I started noticing that I required a little bit more sleep. And that's when I started to feel like a little lightheaded, and like lightheadedness, more dizziness. Like, I can tell that my body was going through changes, and it was very hard for me to recover after traveling. Normally when I travel, and I'm in a personal development program, so that it's like energy is shifted. So it takes, without being pregnant, it takes me a few days to recover, up to a week. But after this trip, it really took me a couple of weeks to kind of like get back grounded. And even with that, I was like, yo, I need to get me some prenatal vitamins. And in that process, I was trying to find a midwife, doulas, and it's a blessing because I signed up to be part of a festival in my community, and I ended up, my booth that I had for Infinite Nature was right behind another booth with a group of doulas, and I ended up getting a connect with a midwife through one of the doulas, and I was just like, that is awesome. So I ended up being connected to the midwife, and it's interesting and it's divine because I reached out to somebody that I know in the community that's in the birthing, field or whatnot, and I asked her about midwives, and she said she knew someone based upon, I believe, one of her friends, and that she was going to find out that person's information, and come to find out that it was the very same person that was recommended to me by the doula at the festival. And I was just like, that's divine, because I've already talked to her, and you're recommending her to me too. So I was just like, excellent, perfect. I'm glad that we chose our midwife. We chose I believe the great fit for us. But going back to how I felt like 5 to 6, I say from week 5 to 8, I was feeling like I really didn't feel like doing much. I really didn't. I was tired, and I was feeling like some days were okay, but for the most part, I felt not like myself. I was just like, clearly I'm pregnant, because like it's different. But I wasn't throwing up or anything. It was more so there was times where I felt nauseous, or when I'm in the car, I would feel like I would have motion sickness and stuff like that. And before I got pregnant, and I feel like during the time that I probably was pregnant and didn't realize it, I was eating a whole lot of kale. I was eating so much kale, and all of a sudden, once I started taking my prenatal vitamins, right into the 7th week. I believe that 7th week, I was in my 7th week when I started taking prenatals, and I got the ones from Whole Foods. It's not the Whole Foods brands, but it's called Garden of Life. It's really, really, I really love it. I started feeling way better after I took it. Like, I was like, I can actually do things now. Like, that's how I was just more tired. I didn't feel like doing nothing. But after I started taking those prenatals, you take 3 a day. You don't have to take it with a meal. It's very gentle on your stomach. I love them. I enjoy them. It's not too much. Some people may think it's too much because it's 3 a day, but these are not like probably the ones that are prescribed by doctors where it's hard to take, it's hard to go down and stuff. This is not the same. This is plant-based. This is raw. I love it. I enjoy it. Appreciate it. Yeah, so that's what I got as far as prenatal. So I started to feel better, like I could actually do more stuff in the day or whatnot. And I will say that my husband has been excellent. He's been super, super supportive. He's been making sure that I eat, making sure that I feel comfortable. Like, I really am happy that I have a husband that's really supportive during our pregnancy. But I'm going through the changes or whatnot. I really haven't gained that much weight yet. Now, I really didn't gain any weight based upon what my midwife, because I had my midwife appointment last week. So I haven't really been gaining any weight. I say that my weight has been fluctuating. I'll be, from my scale, it looks like I've been fluctuating from 1 to 3 pounds from my pre-pregnancy weight. But based upon her scale, I really didn't gain anything. I gained like 0.8 pounds. Not even a pound, like 0.8 of a pound, whatever that is. So yeah. So she said that, oh, let me backtrack. Let me go. I don't want to get it because my midwife appointment was during my 12th week. So let me go backtrack. So after I started taking the prenatal vitamins, I started to feel better. The following week, I ended up going on a mini trip to Louisiana, to New Orleans, and I really enjoyed myself. And I spent a lot of time walking. I spent a lot of time out in nature, and I really felt better moving around and taking the prenatals. And I was eating really good because New Orleans has a lot of vegan options. They have a lot of juice bars, so I was eating fresh juices. I was eating, a lot more fresh food out and stuff like that. So I really enjoyed myself. I ate good, and I went to Whole Foods and stuff like that. I also spent time with one of my sisters from my personal development program and her family. So I was able to prepare a meal that I would have made at home. So everything was good. I ate good. I felt comfortable. I felt really good. And I was like, I need to make sure that I go outside and walk. And so when I came back from the trip, whenever I come back from trips, I'm always feel like I have to adjust back to being back home. And during that same time period, my sister was in town for her birthday. So when I came back in town, my sister was coming into town for her birthday. So I spent time with her and my husband and her significant other. And so my sleep kind of got off a little bit because of the time that I got back into New Orleans. We got back home late in the morning, which was early in the morning. So after visiting with people and everything like that, during that first weekend in March, I just started to just relax a little bit more, chill out a little bit more. I found that I had good days, and then I had some days that were a little bit more difficult for me. The main symptoms that I've had is sore breasts, really sore breasts. I will say that as you get into your second trimester, it's not as bad, but my breast was really sore at first. Then that's the main symptom that I had: sore breasts, no cycle, and let me see what else. I feel like I've been having changes in my skin, like I'm shedding old skin. I don't know if that's just me being lazy and not putting shea butter on, but like I always put shea butter on myself. I'm always like super shiny and stuff. So I don't know if my skin is just shedding. People been saying that I've been glowing. I don't know, but yeah, my skin feels different. What else has been going on with me that like obvious changes? I started to experience cramping when I went no bleed. I thankfully haven't had no bleeding during my pregnancy. I started experiencing cramping when I went from my 10th week into my 11th week. That's when I started to experience cramping, and I was concerned about that because I've been researching and going on forums and stuff, and people, a lot of times when they're about to miscarry, they cramp and then they bleed, and then so I was concerned about that. But I had to keep in mind that I was coming into my second trimester, and my uterus is moving up. So I had to keep that. I had to remind myself of that. And I hadn't seen my midwife yet, you know what I'm saying? So I was so eager and anxious to to know that everything was okay with the baby and everything. So I started, from going into my 11th week, I started to experience cramping. It started to be a little bit more difficult for me to, like a lot of women say they experience constipation around that time. I wouldn't say that I had a constipation because because of my diet, I eat raw food. I wouldn't say that I had straight up constipation, but it was more difficult for it to come out compared to how it normally is. I would say that much. And that when I was releasing, that it felt like crampy and stuff. But it was more so to do with, I feel like, gas and bloating. And so I feel like it was a combination of a couple of things that was going on with my body. But after I saw my midwife and I told her about it, she gave me some pointers about, making sure that I'm hydrated and that part of it is natural. And, my taste buds, I will say, I forgot to mention, my cravings have been very particular. I went from loving kale and eating it all the time to not wanting it at all. I've been craving more so mangoes and watermelon, more so like juicy, watery stuff. I've been drinking a lot of coconut water. Of course, I get my greens in. Eating way more. We always eat nuts and seeds, but I've been doing more of that. Eating more, making sure I get more of my nuts and seeds in there for protein and stuff like that. So my cravings have been very particular. I find that I can't really eat vinegar like that, like I used to. Certain things that I stay away from. So right now, I have to make myself eat kale now. I find myself wanting more so of romaine and spring mix and stuff like that. So it's just interesting how your cravings change or whatnot. But I will say that I haven't been wanting anything far-fetched, I will say. Like some people say that they have craved meat and stuff. I'm not I ain't that craving like that, The thought of that makes me want to puke. So no. But after seeing my midwife, I definitely felt good. Me and my husband were very grateful. We were, I can tell that my husband was getting very into what was going on when the midwife was there and talking to us and explaining, her experiences and stuff like that. And, we just talking about our vision of what we would like and things like that. So she's very informative, very qualified, and I feel confident. We plan on having a home birth and at-home water birth. After watching The Business of Being Born and reading a part of Push about the birthing industry and stuff, I definitely prefer to have a home birth, and I trust the process enough to have it at home, and I trust the choice that I've made. I trust the midwife. I trust that my husband is going to be supportive. I trust of my mother more than likely would be there. I trust that everything's going to work out in the way that it's supposed to. I also am mindful that anything can happen, and there's a possibility that if there's anything extreme to happen to where I have to go to the hospital, that I will go. But at this point, I'm focusing on having the birthing experience that I desire, which is at home, and being optimistic. I will say that my moods have been very all over the place. My husband says that my moods have been the same, but I know that I've been a little bit more but I will say that my emotions have been calmed down once I was able to hear my baby's heartbeat for the first time. I was so excited to hear my baby's heartbeat for the first time, and it was not hard for my midwife to find the baby's heartbeat, and I was very excited about that. I was very grateful, and I shared it with some of my family and some people that are that I consider being a little bit more close to me or whatnot. I shared it with them. So I'm so excited. I haven't shared it with a whole bunch of my family and friends yet, just like more so my intermediate family, like my mom, like my parents, my sister, a couple of friends, or whatever the case may be. But I really haven't shared it with no one at all, only because of it being in the first trimester, and I just want to make sure everything's okay. I more than likely won't, like I said, by the time you see this video, I'm probably going to be like 20 weeks or up. So I'm in week 13, so it's going to be like another at least over a month before y'all gonna even see this. Okay, so yeah, it's gonna be up and running, up and rolling whenever you know, we hit that 20-week mark. You feel me? So yeah, but yeah, overall I'm very excited. I still do have my moments of I do sleep a lot more, I will say that much. I sleep, like today I went to sleep at 4 o'clock and I woke up at 8 something. I had a 4-hour nap. Like that's what happens now. Like my naps are long. Like I was never a nap person, and now that I'm pregnant, I'm like napping. Like it's important, it's imperative to get your rest. That's one thing I believe that women really need to do. Like when you're pregnant, you really need to chill out. Really need to chill out, eat what you want to eat when you want to, but be mindful of what you're eating. Don't just eat any and everything, because that might be the culprit of your sickness. You know what I'm saying? I can honestly say that I'm very, very grateful that I've been passionate about my health preconception, before I even thought about having a baby. And I believe that really is making this easy for me. But next pregnancy may not be the same way. But I will say that I'm grateful for the 21-day liquid fast that I've done, that is documented, that you can go back and look at for inspiration. I'm grateful for those type of moments, because I feel like because of that, because me and my husband, you know, because to me that's very important. The health of the parents preconception impacts the child way more than we can even imagine. How we treat our bodies before we conceive, that's the key. So if you're ready, if you want to conceive, make sure that you're eating more vegetables and fruit. You know what I'm saying? Like that will help you a lot. And the reason why I'm saying focus on vegetables and fruit, because I know here in America a lot of people are meat, potatoes type of people. You know, I see it in my family all the time, meat and potatoes. So with that being said, yeah, just keep that in mind if you're wanting to conceive. And also, there was something else that I wanted to share with you. Fit and healthy. So I started with my prenatals. My husband brought me this little thing where I can keep my vitamins so that I can keep track. I still have the sticker out because I didn't put the things on there, but yeah, they're just like this. I don't know if you can see that, but I've already taken all of my ones for Saturday. Today is Saturday, right? Yeah. So my last day is Sunday, so I already have my vitamins in there. My vitamins are in there for Sunday. Oh, and my midwife ended up taking a whole bunch of blood tests. I mean, not a whole bunch of blood tests. There was some blood testing done. She took a whole bunch of blood. I was just like, oh my gosh. She said I had good veins, so that was good. I've always been told that I had good veins. But I was very impressed when I finally saw the report, because there's such a thing. It's always been, I need some chapstick. I need some chapstick, so excuse this. I'm gonna have to need some chapstick, but it is what it is at this point. Okay, but yeah, I was very impressed at my lab results, me personally, because there's such a stigma when it comes to vegans and raw vegans, vegetarians, about how we're deficient in so much stuff and all that. But I'm here to tell you that based upon what I'm seeing, especially with me being pregnant, so I'm gonna need more nutrients in my opinion, because there's me and the baby. I'm very impressed. I'm saying I thought I'm impressed considering the fact that I hadn't been taking supplements besides the prenatals. My B12 levels were okay, was right in the middle. I just made it with the iron or whatever when I wasn't feeling that well that day. I felt that was an off day for me. What else was I pleasantly surprised? My folic acid levels was good. The only thing that was low was on the lower scale was my vitamin D. And I wasn't surprised because my behind hadn't been outside. Like I told you, I feel so good when I'm outside. And that's why I knew, I said, something told me my vitamin D levels were going to be lower. But I'm so grateful that I had this done, you know. And I'm going to do a whole separate video on supplements and pregnancy and things like that. But I started taking these vitamin D. Got this from Whole Foods, vitamin D3. And so I'm grateful about that, and I'm gonna start going out in the sun and walking like I told you. But yeah, I'm overall I'm grateful because with me being raw vegan, being small, being pregnant, you know, there's so much that can happen, you know. And the way that my diet is, you would think that I would be more deficient based upon what everybody else say. But I'm not. And I'm grateful for that. So, that's all I have to say about that. So, overall, I'm doing good. Another thing that I had to do an increase of is protein. According to my midwife, I have to get 81 grams per day. So, we started doing protein shakes and stuff like that, along with, of course, eating. She's told us about more of the complete proteins and things of that nature, but that's helped a lot too. Drinking more smoothies and putting protein in the smoothies. There's the same brand, Garden of Life, have protein shakes that are actually edible. So yeah, that's helped a lot. And that helped with the nausea and that I was experiencing, the unsettledness in the stomach. That really helped by me increasing my protein and being more mindful of it, because I was pretty much, I believe, eating what I would have eaten, what would have been considered okay if I was not pregnant. So I had to increase it, double it. So that's pretty much it for now. Overall, I feel like this has been a pretty good pregnancy thus far. Despite the changes that have been occurring, I feel like I've been holding up pretty well. And I have a lot of great support. And my family is excited. The ones that know for now, they're definitely excited. And I know people are going to be excited when they find out. So I told my mother and my sister and everyone else that they can start telling people around April 9th. It's now almost April 1st. So they can't tell nobody until April 9th. So by the time y'all see this, it will be probably sometime in May or whatever the case may be. So that's all that I have for now. And I will definitely be documenting this journey on Instagram. And I'll start posting more stuff on this channel about this, just to show people that, yeah, you can eat plant-based and still have a healthy pregnancy. You're not... It's more so about knowing what you need and making sure that you're getting the nutrients required. And if you need to take supplements, take them. Like, because I was the type to not take supplements. And but now that I've seen my blood levels or whatever, I still wasn't very impressed by it. But I see how I can have optimum health by being aware of that. And if I want to take the natural route to increase it, take the natural route, more natural route. But there's nothing wrong with taking supplements, especially if you're responsible for a life. So that's all that I have for now, and thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.